active range of motion and passive range of motion. You're going to do passive range of motion. Passive range of motion means you actually get the limb and give the exercise to the limb. If it was active range of motion, you direct the client and the client does it by himself. Alright, so you're doing passive range of motion. You're going to do either upper or lower. Depending on what they give you will depend on what portions you're going to do. If they give you upper range of motion, they can give you two. They can give you one is shoulder, or they can give you elbow and wrist. They will never give you the whole arm to do. But if they give you lower range of motion, which is the leg, then you will do the whole entire leg, right? The whole entire leg consists of hip, knee, and ankle. Right? So I'm going to show you all, and you're going to learn how to do all because you do not know exactly which one they're going to give you on skateboard, and you don't want to be like, oh, I never practiced that. So you will do all of them. For me, for skateboard, you will be identified exactly which one you're going to do. Right? So we'll start with upper range of motion. We always do chronological from head to foot, never from foot to head. So, shoulder. There's two exercises that you're going to give to the shoulder. The first exercise is called extension, hyperextension. So you're going to bring the arm from the side all the way up next to the ear. No further. Alright? Some clients might not even get that far. They might just get up to here and they can't go further up because the joints, right? They get rigidity, they get shortening of the muscles, and they get contractures, so they can't extend all the way, right? Then the other exercise for the shoulder is called abduction, adduction. ABB, ADD. ABB is towards the body. ADD is away from the body. Well, actually, backwards. Dyslexic this morning. ABB is away from the body. ADD is towards the body. When you add, adduction. When you take away, abduction. Okay? So we're going to do that. Then we're going to do the elbow. Then we're going to do the wrist. So we're going to start with that. Of course, for every skill, you must start with your ICs, which is your indirect skills. So you're going to knock on the door, introduce yourself, name and title, address the patient by name, and let the patient know that you're here to provide the range of motion exercise, ROMs. She's going to say, okay, that gives you permission to proceed. You're going to do the hand washing technique, and after the hand washing technique, you will come to the client and ask the client if you can check the ID band to make sure he or she is the correct client. She is, so I'm going to proceed. I'm going to provide the privacy for the client. There's no equipment. I am the equipment. I will come to the side of the bed, lock all the wheels, raise the bed to ensure proper body mechanics for myself and not injure my back. Go to sleep. All right, go to sleep. I ain't talking. All right, so range of motion exercise. Where are you going to hold and how are you going to hold the arm? You're going to take one hand. You're going to take one hand and hold the shoulder. It's okay. You're going to hold the shoulder. This is a good opportunity when you go to grasp the shoulder, you feel, you're palpating. If it feels big, lumpy, hot, right, swollen, do not give the exercise. Open the patient's gown or pajamas and look at the shoulder to see what's going on. If you see a big lump, like it's swollen and it's real red or purple or black and blue, do not give the exercise unless she had surgery or she fell and then the exercise is rehabilitation, then that's a different thing. But if she's not in rehab and it's just ROMs not to keep her from getting contracted and she got this big giant bruise and this big swelling there, that means she could have potentially fell either this morning or last night. So don't give the exercise, grab the attention of the LPN or the RN, let her come in, assess the arm, and then you move further. But this patient is fine, there's nothing wrong with her, so you hold one hand by the shoulder. The other The other hand, you're gonna hold here, right? Don't hold it in her hand, don't hold it in her elbow. Forearm, right here. Right here. You're gonna keep the arm as straight as possible. And you're gonna bring the arm up. You're gonna do increments of 3. That means the exercise is time 3 times each. So you're gonna come up, don't help me. Sleep. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, she's like, I'm like, no, help me. I got you. Right? So you did 3. 1, 2, get up and come over here. Look, come sit right here. I know you understand Spanish, but siéntate aquí conmigo. You stand right here. 1, 2, 3. You finish the 3 of them. That's the extend and the hyperextend, right? After that, you keep your hand in the same position. Don't change your position, and you're going to bring the arm out towards you for the abduction, adduction. Abduction, adduction. 1, 2, 3. And put the arm down, back to rest. You finish with the shoulder. Done, finito, no more. Now we're going to go to the next section of the arm, which is the elbow. The only thing the elbow can do is bend. Can't do nothing else. It can't extend and hyperextend and all that. No. So, you're going to take your hand from the shoulder and bring it down to the elbow. You're going to make your hand like a cup to cradle underneath the elbow. Bring the arm out to you. Turn the arm so you can see the palm of her hand. So her elbow is directly in my hand, in the palm of my hand. You're going to hold right here and you're going to bend. You're going to flex, extend 3 times. Flex, extend. 1. Flex, extend. 2. Flex, extend. 3, and put the arm back. Right? So you're doing this. You're bringing the hand towards the face. 1, 2, 3. Full range of motion. That means all the way down, all the way up. All the way down, all the way up. What you're doing is you're building up this muscle right here. She needs that. What? For carrying, for brushing her teeth, combing her hair, pulling up her pants, pulling on the shirt, pulling off the sweater, putting on the sweater, zippering. You need this muscle. Okay? If you don't, if it gets shortened of contractions, what you gonna do? How you gonna do it? You can't do it because the muscle has shortened with the contraction. So then you're forced to do everything for the patient. Then the patient is no longer independent. It's more work for you. And what happens? Less mobility for the client. And less mobility will end up with what? Immobile in the bed and then eventually death. So we're trying to keep her as functional as possible. So we did the shoulder, we did the elbow. The next thing is the wrist. The wrist. So make sure her elbow is resting on the bed. Alright? Take one hand, forearm. Take the other hand and hold her hand. And we're going to extend, we're going to flex, and we're going to hyperextend all in one shot. So you're going to flex, extend, and hyperextend. So you're going to go all the way down, all the way back. 1, 2, 3. Right? This keeps the wrist agile so she can do this mobility, so she can brush, comb, brush her teeth, draw, eat, right? Things of that nature. So you gotta keep that. So we're done with the arm. We put this arm out of our way so we can work on her beautiful leg. So we're gonna do her leg. So all the exercise that we did for the arm, we're gonna do now for the leg, except it's a leg, right? Or we're gonna do the hip, the knee, and the ankle. First exercise is for the hip. We're gonna do the same thing like we did for the arm. We're gonna go up and down. So we're gonna extend and hyperextend the leg. You're going to have to feel for her hip. In order for you to hold her hip, your hand is gonna slightly touch her backside. So you have to inform her on what you're doing. Okay, Ms. Jones, so I need to do exercise on your legs. I have to hold you by your hip area, but my hand is gonna slightly touch your backside. Is that okay? You have to do that because if you just go and grab her, she's gonna be like, hey, what are you doing? Why are you touching me like that? You know, no funny business here, get off of me. You know, you have to explain. If you don't explain and you just grab the patient is gonna feel insulted. She's gonna be like, hey, you can't be grabbing on me like that. You have to explain. So I explain, she's aware that I'm going to touch her maybe close personal area. So I find her hip bone and I wrap my hand. So now I got her whole hip area plus her buttocks, right? Then I'm gonna take my other hand and I'm gonna place it underneath her calf muscle. This is the calf muscle, right? So you're gonna put your hand here. Shoulder distance apart, your back is straight. Don't arch your back. Push your butt, right? So you grab this and we're gonna lift. 3, don't lift up your leg, I can do it. We're gonna do it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Now, this exercise is good for the long muscle in her leg. Also her buttocks. And this is good so when you're walking, you don't feel stiff. So you need that, right? So now I got her covered. Now we did that, we're gonna do the abduction like we did with the arm. Same thing, but it's just a leg. So I keep my hand in the same position. And I'm gonna bring her leg outward towards me, just a little bit, not a lot. 1, 2, 3. All right, this helps with the hip. Right, when she's squatting down to sit, she's squatting up. The joint is still flexible, right? All right. So we finished with the hip. Now we're going to the knee. The only thing the knee can do is bend. Nothing else. You can't go this way and that way and all of that. Or just bend. So you're going to take your hand from the hip and come down and place it underneath her thigh. That's the big muscle of the leg. And are you ticklish? Tickle. You crack? Okay. And then you take your other hand and you grab your feet. Some people are ticklish, you touch their feet and they go crazy. So you hold here, you pick up the leg, and you push. Then push. 1, and then you go all the way back down. Up.
I'm sorry.
Up, push in. All the way down. 1, 2, 3. This is very important exercise for this muscle. This muscle. Very important, and also exercises the gluteus maximus muscle. So it's needed. Alright? So you're exercising all those big muscles in her leg. That's to keep her to walk. So you did those. Now we're gonna do her beautiful ankle. You take your hand, support the leg. Don't grab it like this. If you grab it like this, the thumb digs in and gives her a big bruise around her. You cradle the leg like this. Alright? You hold her foot, and we're going to do flex, extend, flex, extend, flex, extend. So you're going to go down and up. 1, 2, 3. Finish. Then the ankle, we're going to do a slight motion, which is side to side. Something similar to the abduction, except there's nothing to come out of the body. So you're going to grab the heel and you're going to go inward slightly. 1, it's a slight motion. 2, 3. This exercise helps the Achilles heel. So that muscle back here, after a while, if the patient is not walking and is not getting exercise to the ankle, the muscle tends to get short and it retracts and the foot drops like this. And you can never get the foot back up. So that means the person will never stand up straight ever again. And when you put them in the wheelchair, you can't put the foot flat on the footrest. The foot is gonna be sticking out like this, cause this muscle right here shortens, kinda like collapses, and it makes the foot go like this, straight out. So this person will never do this ever again. They will have to go to the hospital, have surgery, they cut it, extend it, and then they'd be hobbling forever, they'll be walking like this. So we're trying to avoid that by giving the exercise. So it's imperative, if you have range of motion exercise for the client, that you fulfill the range of motion exercise to the fullest, all right? So the patient has had their range of motion exercise, she's okay. I'm gonna lower the bed. I'm gonna make sure that she has her fall belt. They'll tell you which side, which is right side, left side, up, down, they'll tell you which. And the care plan is the same. They will tell you what they want you to do. Alright? So I will open up the curtain. Until they close. Open up the curtain, wash my hands, and tell the proctor that the skill is complete. This is no documentation skill, just do it.